If you don't know who your ideal client is in your business, you are never going to be successful. And today I'm going to tell you why. I'm also going to tell you how to fix it. The most common misconception in business is that if we can speak to a broader audience, we can attract more people, make more money, get more leads in our business. But the reality is, this is simply not true. If we speak to everyone, we are essentially speaking to no one. And I actually speak to this concept in depth in this video right here, where I talk about defining your niche and really figuring out what it is you're selling in what market. But today I kind of want to take this conversation one step further. At the end of the day, marketing really has nothing to do with what it is you're selling, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, but it actually focuses more on who it is you are marketing that product or service to. Because without those customers or those clients, we don't have a business at the end of the day. And on a similar note, it's important to recognize that people in the marketplace aren't really buying products or services. They're buying solutions to the problems that they are facing. So once you are able to figure out who it is you are speaking to and what problems it is that they're facing, it's going to allow you to not only serve your clients better, but to also craft a marketing strategy and create content on social media that speaks to the problems that people are facing. This will begin to position your product or service in a place that's in alignment with what people are actually wanting or needing in their life. And as a result of this, sales in your business will actually become easier because these target people that you're trying to reach are going to feel like you really understand what it is they're going through and that your solution, your offer, is a viable solution for that problem. So if you're struggling right now to make sales in your business or figure out how to speak to that person that you're trying to sell to, you are in the right place. We're going to do this today by determining our ideal client avatar, or ICA as I might refer to it. And we're going to get into that in depth in this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so I already alluded to this a little bit in the intro, but really understanding your ideal client avatar, who they are, what they're into, that kind of thing, is going to be the determining factor in you being able to make more sales in your business. So I think it's really important that we first unpack who is this ideal client avatar? What does that even mean? And what does it look like? Essentially, your ideal client avatar is going to be the person that is going to purchase the product or service that you are selling. So some initial questions to kind of think about would be, what exactly is it that you're selling and who exactly is it that you're selling it to? Who are you essentially trying to help with the product or service that you're offering? At the end of the day, your ICA is the person who is the most likely to need the product or service that you're selling, the most likely to buy the product or service that you're selling, and more importantly, the most likely to advocate for who you are, what you do, and why your product or service is the most effective and why other people should buy it. Because quite honestly, people who have a positive customer experience are going to be invaluable in being able to promote your product or service to other people who are thinking about buying. And honestly, I could do a full video on the power of testimonials, so if that's something you're interested in, just let me know in the comments. So further to all of this information, your ideal client avatar is essentially going to be the person that you are targeting in your marketing strategies and who is ultimately going to be buying from your business. They are a specific person with a very specific problem in need of your very specific solution. And a lot of the times, not always, but especially in service-based businesses, they are the person you once were before you started on this journey that you're on. So in my case, I help complete beginners learn how to start and grow their own small business, which is something that I had to figure out on my own 4 years ago. And so the problem that I help people solve is that they have no idea how to get started. And so I walk them through that process step by step. Your ideal client is just the perfect fit for your product or service, hence the word ideal. So by now, at this point in the video, you might be wondering, why is knowing my ideal client avatar so important? Again, you might just be thinking that if I could just target my marketing to every person on the planet, then I would have a much larger audience to buy to, therefore a bigger pool, bigger possibility, and I'm gonna make more money. Unfortunately, this isn't quite how it works, and here's why. The magic formula for making content in your business that converts into actual sales is by making quality content that speaks to a very specific person. You want people to see the content that you're posting and think, wow, this is exactly how I'm feeling right now, and this is exactly what I need to solve this problem. And identifying this is going to be the key difference between you just aimlessly posting and wondering why you're not making sales to you posting with intention and actually making money in your business. And this is because the people who need or want whatever it is you're selling are going to be able to self-identify and recognize that your product or service is the solution to the problem that they're facing. Okay, and the best way to communicate this is through an example. So let's just say you're a personal trainer and you think your ideal client is women. So you start to market yourself as a personal trainer who personally trains women. And this is a great start, but we're not quite there yet. We're actually missing the mark. And I get it. You might be thinking like, Danielle, I said I'm a personal trainer for women. Women is more specific than I'm a personal trainer for everyone. And while you're not wrong, I do just want you to think about it a little bit further. We're going to take it and break it down. And so let's just think of these two women as an example. First, we have a stay-at-home mom, and next we have a working professional. Both are women, yes, but both also likely have very different lifestyles, behaviors, habits, values, and priorities. Again, if we think back to how we figure out who our ideal client avatar is, these are all components we want to consider when we're thinking about getting super specific. Because both of these women might be looking for personal training, sure, but they're both likely looking for different reasons, they have different sources of motivation, and they're both seeking different outcomes. And this is exactly why it's so important to have this understanding of who our client is. While you might be offering them the same or a similar service, you can't be marketing to them with the same type of messaging. And so yes, they both might want your service, but the way that you market to them and the messaging that you use to speak to them is going to be different because the reason why they want your service is going to be different because the lives that they're living are completely separate. So it's really important you understand your specific business, you know who that business is for, and you understand that your offer fits within that demographic. Questions about this, let me know in the comments. So in now knowing this, you might be wondering, how do we define who our ideal client avatar is? Generally speaking, the most common way to determine who your ICA is to look at their demographics, their psychographics, and their day-to-day behaviors. Demographics being things like age, gender, socioeconomic status, education level, job, that kind of thing. Psychographics focusing more on things like mindset, attitude, personal values, interests, and lifestyle priorities. And then behaviors focusing naturally more on things like how they spend their time, where they hang out online, how they interact with brands, and that sort of thing. You really want to recognize who this person is, how they spend their time, what's important to them, and how the answer to each of those questions relates to the product or service that you sell. Again, every individual has different things they prioritize, different ways they like to spend their time, different things they like to do, different demographic backgrounds. And so it's really important to understand which lane your product or service fits into so that you can use that information in the way that you speak to these potential customers or clients. Now, understanding the components of what makes up your ideal client avatar is one thing. Understanding how to use them in order to make sales in your business is something completely different. So let's talk about how we can use this understanding to convert more clients into our business using a little bit of strategy and a lot of intention. Oftentimes in marketing, you might already be familiar with this. We refer to this as creating our hero's journey. Your ideal client being the hero and the journey being the process that you are going to walk them through in order to get them from where they are right now to where they would rather be. Essentially, what you want to do is think about the client's journey that you're going to take them on in mind of all of the information that you already know about them. And I personally like to start this process by mapping out some of the following. We want to think about who this person is and what challenges they're currently facing. We want to understand what is their desired destination? Where are they right now and where would they rather be? Also, what is that ideal future outcome and what would that look like and feel for them? Understanding the emotions and the experience of each part of the journey is going to be really valuable for you to use in your marketing strategy when creating content that speaks to this individual and where they're at, the feelings they want to feel, and where they would rather get to. Particularly, understanding the emotional experience of where the client is at the beginning of that hero's journey is going to be key in being able to craft content that really resonates with this individual to the point where they want to buy from you and allow you to take them on the journey to that hero's destination. And so in being able to really empathize with this person and to embody and envision them on this journey, suddenly our ability to craft content and create a marketing strategy that actually speaks to them becomes a whole lot easier. Through this, you'll be able to communicate the empathy you have for them. You know, I was once in your shoes, or I understand where you are, and here's the solution that I can offer you. And so in doing this, you're really going to be able to craft a message that says either I once was you, or I really understand where you're at, and this is the solution that I can provide for you. At the end of the day, the more specific we can get at speaking to our ideal client avatar, the less likely we are to speak out into the void and have no one listening. Hopefully by now you have a better understanding of what exactly an ideal client avatar is, who and what they look like for you and your business, and you understand why it's so important to really know about this person and utilize them in your marketing strategies. I know this was a lot of information, so of course, if you have any questions at all, you can feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I am happy to help. Just a reminder that I put out new videos here on YouTube every Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific, helping you learn how to start and grow your own small business. I am always open to content suggestions or ideas, so if you have something you want to see in a video, let me know in the comments below as well. You can also find me over on TikTok and Instagram, where I'm sharing small business tips every day, just like in this video, but in small bite-sized pieces. So if that's helpful, find me there, like this video, share it with a friend, and I will see you next week.